You know, the legendary Stan Lee once said something that has always stuck with me. He said, if you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Now that's a powerful lesson, isn't it, for anyone with a dream? Well, today, I want to tell you the story behind that advice and how one of the most famous superheroes in the world almost never existed.
So let me ask you something. What do you do when you have an idea that you are absolutely sure about? I mean, you feel it in your bones, this is a winner. But the one person you need to get on board tells you it's the worst thing they've ever heard. It's a tough spot, and pretty much every creator has been there.
And those were the exact words Stan Lee heard from his own publisher. Not, let's think about it, or it needs a little work. Nope, the worst idea he had ever heard. Talk about a gut punch. This is the story of that so-called worst idea.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit. Let's set the scene. Marvel Comics was on a hot streak. They had hits like the Fantastic Four, and Stan's publisher comes to him and says, "Stan, I want you to come up with another superhero." Simple, right? But the pressure was definitely on. So where did this idea come from? It's actually pretty funny. Stan just saw a fly crawling on a wall and thought, hey, what if a hero could do that? That was step one, the power. Then came the name. He went through some less than stellar options, like Flyman and Mosquito Man, but Spider-Man just sounded so much more dramatic, didn't it? But here's the real genius, the absolute game changer, step three. He decided to make the hero a teenager, and not just any teenager, one with real everyday problems, money troubles, girl troubles, you name it. This had never been done before. Superheroes were supposed to be perfect. This one was going to be like us.
So there he is. Stan's got this idea he just knows is a guaranteed hit. A totally original hero people could actually relate to. He walks into his publisher's office absolutely buzzing with excitement, and he proceeds to run face first into a brick wall. A brick wall made of so-called logic.
Stan pitched his heart out, and his publisher just knocked down every single point. A hero named after a spider? No way, Stan. People hate spiders. A teenager as the main hero? Nope. Teenagers are sidekicks, everyone knows that. And a hero with personal problems? Are you kidding? Superheroes don't have problems, that's the whole point. Every single thing that made the idea unique and special was shot down one by one. So Stan walked out of that office totally dejected. I mean, his brilliant idea was dead on arrival. But he said he left that day a much wiser man. And I'm pretty sure the lesson he learned wasn't the one his publisher intended for him.
But he couldn't get it out of his head. You know how that is, right? When an idea just sticks with you. It felt too good, too real to just throw away. And this is that classic moment in any journey where you have a choice. Give up or find another way. Well, for Stan, another way was about to pop up in the most unlikely place imaginable.
That opportunity came in the form of a comic book called Amazing Fantasy. And here's the kicker. The magazine was failing badly. In fact, the company had already decided to cancel it. It was a total dead-end project. But here's the beautiful thing about a dead end. As Stan himself put it, when you're working on the very last issue of something, nobody is paying attention. The book is already a failure in their eyes. So there are no stakes. There is zero risk. And for an idea that's already been rejected, a no-risk environment is the absolute perfect place for it to grow. So just to do it, just to satisfy that creative itch and get the character out of his system, Stan went for it. He put Spider-Man in that final doomed issue. He even put him right on the cover. He wasn't trying to prove anyone wrong, he was just doing it for himself. And then he just forgot about it and moved on.
Okay, now this is the part of the story we all wait for. The part where that big gamble, that leap of faith either pays off spectacularly or it doesn't. So what happened to that forgotten hero in that canceled magazine?
Well, about a month went by. Stan had other things on his plate. Then, one day, the sales figures for all the previous month's comic books came in. And buried in that pile of reports were the numbers for the final, forgotten issue of Amazing Fantasy.
In that last issue of Amazing Fantasy, it was the best-selling comic they had. Not just a success, it was a full-blown phenomenon. The idea that was supposedly the worst his publisher had ever heard was now the most popular thing on the comic book stands. So what happens next is almost comical. The publisher comes tearing into Stan's office and, with a totally straight face, says this. Did you catch the key word there? We. That character we both loved so much. All of a sudden, the worst idea in history was a brilliant idea that they had both championed from the very start. Funny how that works, isn't it?
This whole roller coaster experience is what led to that one powerful piece of advice from Stan Lee. It's not about being arrogant or refusing to listen. It's about having true conviction when you know deep down you've created something special, something meaningful.
Stan's story really gives us a kind of creator's code to live by. If you feel your idea is good, you have to try to do it. You can only do your best work when it's something you truly want to do. Do it the way you think it should be done. And then be proud of it, because as Stan found out, that's the only way to create something you can stand behind, and sometimes it's the only way to create something truly great.
And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? The one for you. What's that idea that you just can't get out of your system? The one that maybe other people think is a little bit crazy, but you know deep in your gut that it's good? What's your Spider-Man?